Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Katrina Rasbold and Friends. And yep, you got it. I say it every time, but I really am excited this time. But this is one of my really special dear friends. And as we talk, you will understand why we are such dear friends, because we got a thing, this lady and I.
That's true.
You and I started vibing from the minute we met, I think.
Oh, yeah, out at the auction.
We just hit the ground running. And it's been a lot of fun ever since. We've known each other a long time, and y'all don't even know what all stories she's going to have to tell, because this is Pam Ennis, and Pam Ennis is part of Pacific Coast Spirit Watch.
Yes, I am.
And one of the things I learned from you right away was we do not like the term Ghostbuster.
No. I'll use it, but I don't like it.
Investigating and interacting with.
Yes.
We are
learning from.
That's violent.
Yes.
And when we're violent with them, they get violent right back with
us. Amen to that.
We don't want any of that. So You're in the presence of a true paranormal investigator and seasoned paranormal investigator. I'm not saying she just picked up a talk box last week and walked into Preston Castle, although you did go to Preston Castle.
Yes, I've been there a couple times.
So make sure you wind that into the stories too, because that's pretty interesting too.
We got several.
Good. So her partner in crime is actually off camera and in the room. At least I assume he's still in the room. And that's
he's sitting right here.
So her husband Robert also is fascinating. Now there's a special fascination to me that y'all might not share, and I get why, because this is very personal. Not personal like that. No, I love Pam, respect her, wouldn't go there. But Robert sang with a group that I listened to growing up. And there were two, and they were neck and neck, and I can't remember if it was the Imperials or Inspirations. Robert, which one was it?
It was the Imperials, and he had tried out for them. But he got cancer, and that's why he wasn't able to continue.
And I thought, I gotta confess, at first, when I heard that, I thought, yeah, okay, old man, yeah, you did that. And then we did karaoke.
Yes.
And I thought, Lord help me.
He wasn't kidding.
He was not kidding. Your husband can belt out a lyric.
Yes, he can. Yeah, he can.
And he's a substantial, strong man. Big guy.
Oh, he's an enigma.
He's a big guy, and his voice is even bigger.
Oh gosh, yeah. He can project it quite well. He used to be an umpire.
I thought you were going to say auctioneer.
Well, he can't talk that fast. He can move fast, but he can't talk that fast. What he did was he was actually umpiring a softball game, and he was so loud that the neighbors around the field asked that he not come back because he was that loud.
Well, we just love him to pieces, and you too. And this is multi-generational love. My grandson Aiden, who get ready for this, is now 21. He, from the time he was a little boy, just loved Pam and Robert, and would go to their presentations and sit and take notes and have his little sound recorder.
I remember.
Yeah, it was a big deal for him. So we're gonna have some really good stories this time, y'all. So get your favorite warm drink and gather around the hearth with us, because we're gonna be shooting any shit that moves. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
It's gonna stick to the wall.
That's right. So what the hell are you up to these days?
Let's see. I now have 17 grandkids and 5 great-grandchildren.
I'm so jealous.
7 weeks ago, my granddaughter presented me with the first great-grandson. Wow. And so we're excited for that. So it's very
already
very cool.
Out?
What?
Is it already cooked and out?
Oh, he's belting it out, boy. Kids got lungs.
Wow.
His mom and his mom and dad are both in the Navy, and his uncle's in the Marine Corps. So you know that great grandpa over here is going to try and steer him to the, I'd like to say the dark side, but he likes to say it's the men's department. So
I am so jealous. I have one grandchild, and you met him.
Yes, and yes, I have.
I'm having more. I got 6 children, 6 kids. Well, they're not children; they're grown-ups. I got 6 kids, and I got 1 grandchild, and that just somehow does not seem fair. So I got another generation coming up that might be able to crank some out for me, but I need some babies.
Well, they find a way in which to do that. Take my word for it.
Well, I think they figured that part out pretty well, and it just is the producing that's an issue now. My youngest son is partnered with this young lady who's wonderful, and she recently told him she wants to have 10 kids. Now she hadn't had one yet. She wants 10. I thought, well, that could balance the scales right there.
Well, not only that, but once she gets to 3 or the 3rd or the 4th one, she may change her mind.
You know what my mommy used to say, Pam, is now she only had 3, so she was talking out her ass. Let's just say that right away. But she always said that after 3, they all blend together.
That's true.
Whether it's 5 or 6 or whatever. Well, I had 6. I beg to differ. All of my kids were profoundly different than each other. All 6 of them were really different. But one thing that was interesting is it was like a cycle, because number 1 is like number 4. Number 2 is like number 5, and number 3 is like number 6. It's pretty crazy.
Well, I've got 3. And the funny thing is that all 3 of them are sections of me. You met Misty. My oldest daughter is now 51 years old, and it's frightening because she is me. Wow. She's me now. And you know what a smart ass I am.
I do. I revere that.
Oh, she's already there and surpassing me. My youngest daughter, once again, is a smart aleck, just like me. And my son's driven. And I'm proud of all 3 of them. They're great kids, but I look back and I go, my mother put a curse on me. I hope you have one just like me. I had 3. So she got her wish.
When I first met you, I thought I was a smart ass, and then I just had to bow to the master. Thank you. I was an amateur.
It's good to be respected for something you're good at.
You're really good at it. You just, and that's one thing I love about you. Is you're so quick-witted. You got the answer right there, and that's something you really need in your field of expertise. You got to be able to think on your feet and respond quickly and respond correctly.
I had somebody one time. The group itself it's sort of disbanded after a while, and that's because COVID really decimated the group. We lost 3 members to they passed away.
Oh, like lost them, they're gone.
Like lost them, like gone.
Nothing. They didn't just lose interest. They lost.
Yeah, they lost interest big time. And so what happened was one of our old members had looked at me and he said, boy, you know what? Because I structure things. If I got a weekend going, I am going to give you an itinerary, and it's going to be packed because you guys want to do all this stuff. I'm going to make it happen. He looked at me and he said, when do I sleep? And I said, on your time. And I wasn't kidding, because I wanted to make sure that everything we did got taken care of, that everybody got a chance to investigate what it was they were doing, that they want, that they got their time in during the weekend. And so that's me. And it's like Robert says, we go on an investigation, everybody else is running in the opposite direction, and I'm running toward going, what? But
do you hear that?
That's my personality, Yeah. We had one team member that we were in Virginia City at the Washoe Club. We're sleeping downstairs where the museum is. And she heard something upstairs, and she didn't tell me because she knew I'd take off running upstairs and drag her with me.
That makes your job harder if they're not telling you.
Well, that's what I looked at and I said, you're telling me 2 years later? What the heck?
Yeah, that'd be concerning. I would not like that.
No, I wasn't happy because I mean, I got stuff going on up there, and you're telling me that you didn't tell me? Come on, that's why I'm here. I can sleep anytime, you know?
That's right. You can sleep when you're dead, except that then we're going to investigate you. So
no, you can investigate me because I'm going to be around. I have a list.
Oh, there you go. So the last time I mentioned to somebody that I had a list was when I was going to retire. Now, before that, it was when Nathan went to school, because Nathan was my last kid. I started having babies in 78, and Nathan went to school in 96. So I had almost 20 years just of having little ones at home. And somebody said, well, you're not going to know how to act. And I was like, the hell I won't. I got a list.
There you go.
A list. I'm sock skating, man, in my underwear. And then when I retired, it was basically the same thing. Well, without the story, you won't know what to do with yourself. Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Got a list. Now I got my dead list because you've inspired me again.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll have it.
We got to do an investigation sometime.
I'd love that because I got time now. We can do that.
Yes, that's true.
If I can knock Eric out of the way, because you know how he is.
Oh gosh, yeah, because he's been wanting to go.
He's had dibs. He's really had dibs, but
that's true.
Yeah,
he asked first.
That's right. That. You know, he did get a one up on me on that one. He did. So there are two questions here that I think you're going to run with. And I just interviewed for the second time Tomas Prower, who is just an adorable, cute little mortician.
Cool.
Down in LA. He's so pretty. And he's just smart and like you, he's very clever. He is just a delight to talk to. But because he's been a mortician for many years, he had some really good answers to some of the same questions you're going to have really good answers to.
Oh, cool. Okay. So I'm looking forward to this.
It's a theme. So what? Oh, I'm on the wrong page. I was on the other 8 questions. You'll get those later.
Okay.
So what do you think happens when you die?
Okay. And people think that it's weird that I say this. I saw a movie many years ago, and it's called Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks.
Yep, Meryl Streep.
And it's funny, it gave me peace in that I thought to myself, okay, I don't believe in a heaven and a hell per se, but I like the idea that I die, I get sent up to wherever, they judge me and decide whether or not I get to go up or I get to go back to where I was. And I found that really comforting. And so that's what I think happens. I think that our loved ones aren't really gone. They're just on a different plane of existence. And that's why sometimes they cross over and they come in and we get to interact with them because it's like a different vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason they cross over and they get a chance to come talk to us. Some of them don't want to, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, we've been doing this since 2012 and have had lots of different things happen. So when somebody tells me they don't believe, you know what? You're welcome to your beliefs, but I know for a fact that there is another realm and that they can communicate with you when they want to. And that truly does give me a lot of comfort.
That's wonderful. So I think at some point you met my friend Gladys, who's a medium, and Gladys gets very frustrated when people, and of course this is a big thing with mediumship, where they want to contact a specific person. Right. And Gladys says it's not like everybody's in the waiting room at once. I can't guarantee you that I can find that person out of all the spirits out there. If they want to talk to you and they're here, I'll help you out. Otherwise, here's your money back.
And you might get, and you know what? You may hear from somebody you don't want to hear from.
Isn't that the truth?
So
that's so true. So do you think when somebody reincarnates, if they do that, you said come back.
Yeah.
If they come back, is that vibration from the other side gone because it's now on this realm?
No.
No, it stays. There's an imprint that stays there.
I think that there's an imprint that stays there that, how do I put this? There's a plan, whether it's God, a higher power, or whatever. There's a plan, and that as you go through this life again, you're here to learn something. You're here to learn from your previous mistakes. And I think sometimes that's what deja vu is. You're in a situation that you know you've been in before, but you don't remember when. And so to me, it makes perfect sense. You're going through a plane of existence. You're trying to learn from your past mistakes. And when you go off the path, there's going to be some little road signs that pop up, and whether or not you decide to follow them is purely up to you. But there truly is a plan. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. So one thing I've noticed, and I have interacted with some spirits, including family spirits, which is what gives me this frame of reference. I don't know if this is your experience, or maybe I'm just layering my filters onto it, but it seemed to me that when somebody passes and you're discussing or interacting with them after they have died, that any pain or addiction or anything they had in their physical body is no longer there. But if they were an asshole here, they might still be an asshole there. Does that ring true for you?
It can be. Robert's over here shaking his hand going, no.
But I did not find that the people that I knew were more enlightened or more compassionate as spirits than they were as people. But again, that could just be my filters.
Well, no. I think you can be right. Or, it's like I said, there's a process. Now, maybe once they've crossed over, they've learned and they can see themselves and adjust.
Yeah.
But then there's other people who really don't give a rat's ass, and they're still going to be jackasses.
Got it.
It just depends on the person and on the situation. Does that?
It does.
I'm hoping
it makes sense for my family be a little low vibing. So
so's mine. I come from a long line of rednecks. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I love that answer. Thank you for the thought
you're welcome.
You put into that. And I do love that movie. And we'll link it below in case y'all don't know about it. I'm making a note. There we go. That way you can just settle back with y'all's popcorn and Dr. Pepper and watch that.
There you go.
So you and I are ladies of a specific particular age. And
true.
By the time you're as specific as we are, you've usually got people that have influenced you negatively through trauma or through demonstrating or modeling behavior that you don't want to emulate. Who in your life, and it can be more than one person, has been especially influential to you in a positive way?
I think he was my stepfather, my original stepfather. And we'll go into the other stuff later. But my original stepfather, my mom, my biological father abandoned my mother. My stepdad married my mom when I was 5 months old.
Oh my.
Not once during the time that he was alive, and he died when I was 9. He never once made me feel like I was anything but his daughter.
That's lovely.
He was loving. He had, I think I got his smart ass gene and his sense of humor, because I have a really demented sense of humor.
I love that.
And all those things are things that I learned from him. So I think that he and my grandfather was a man of extremely few words, but he was strong and loving. And those two men, I think, were probably the most influential of my life.
It's nice to hear somebody say, a woman say, that there were men that were positive influences, because so often we get that toxic masculinity feeling, and that we have not a good sense of the men who were in our lives, especially again at our age. You know, there's been a little bit of a difference shift that's happened,
right.
but that's wonderful. I'm glad to hear that I dropped my card. There we go. I'm glad to hear that you had that. That's lovely. So I almost asked you the second question for the for our next visit. So what are you the most proud of that you've done in your life?
Oh, geez.
Don't be humble.
Oh, well, have you ever known me to be humble?
Never.
I worked hard and I got to, I've had several jobs over the course of my lifetime. And I was lucky enough to be the volunteer coordinator and the fundraising assistant for the Sacramento SPCA back in the 80s.
Wow.
I worked for the Small Business Administration Disaster Division, and they only would keep you for 4 years. And they told you the minute they hired you that you could be fired anytime. They kept me for 4 years. I left on my own because I knew they were going to have to let me go. So that was something that I was really thrilled about. And I worked at UC Davis for 20 years. And part of what I did there was train the medical office staff on how to greet patients, how to do, verify insurance and stuff. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of the time that we had our paranormal group, because I tried to tell people the worst that can happen, and that's part of the reason why you and I met. Ask. The worst they can do is say no.
Yeah.
And that got me into a whole lot of places that otherwise we never would have gotten into. And so I was very, very proud of that. So I've had a lot of really, and I'm proud of the fact that I finally got to marry my best friend.
Who's that?
Who's that? Okay, I'll tell you later.
Robert, you might want to go to the store in about 45 minutes.
Uh-oh.
No. So are you an animal person then?
I love animals, but I don't have any. And the reason is I had dogs back when the kids were little. I had a purebred Rot. I had a little Pomeranian Cocker Spaniel cross and a little terrier. All lived to be about 14 years old. And when they passed, it tore me up. And so I swore I would never have another pet as long as I lived.
Yes. I hear you. I have
it's like my grandkids. I love babies, but if I want a baby, I'll go hold one of my grandkids and give them
that there. I got to count 1, 2, 3, 4. I have had 6 elder dogs.
Oh yeah,
that passed, and
it hurts.
My last one was Elvis, who was 18 years old, and he was a Shih Tzu, and it was just soul wrecking. And I actually wrote a public article about why I will not have any more pets.
Yeah.
Ever. Now I have cats, and those are Eric's. They live in my house. They don't give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
They do not care anything about me. If Eric is gone, like he just went on a retreat for a few days, then they're interested in me because I'm in charge of the food. Otherwise, they do not care about me. So I made a real good point, salient points. I listed like 10 reasons why I did not want to have another pet. The same week, let me see if I can do this without disconnecting us.
She's showing me.
That's Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
That's Bruce.
So you fibbed.
I didn't mean to. Let me get my camera back up here. There we go. Oh, wait a minute.
There you are.
I didn't mean to fib. He came to us through the most bizarre circumstances, and he's a rescue dog. So he's seen shit, and he's really traumatized. And we've had him since August. We got him August 1st. And he's my boy. Didn't mean to do that at all, though. That was a complete accident, but there he is.
When I was working at the SPCA, during the summers, I would take my kids to the shelter with me, and I would make them help. They volunteered during the summer because I didn't want them sitting at home by themselves. And so my daughter, they would bring in puppies. And so we had, it was Nikita Malamute, and his name was Boo Boo. Now, Boo Boo came in at a week old, and Misty said, "Can I foster him?" And I said, "Yeah, here's the catch." Because she was in her, I'd say probably 13, 14 at the time. I thought this would be a valuable lesson. So I made her take care of him. She had to pay me babysitting if she wanted to leave him home with me. She had to wipe his little tushy, she had to feed him, she had a little carrier that she kept him in. And finally what happened was the 6 weeks were over and she decided she couldn't give him up.
Oh.
And we had him until, like I said, about 14.
Oh, now, so that's the one, the elder dog then.
That's one of them, yeah. And then we had one that was named Pee-wee, and my ex-husband, I wanted a Doberman or a Rottweiler. And these two little terrier mixes were running down the street, and these kids were abusing them. And my ex went outside and grabbed them, called me and said, "Can you take one?" I said, I don't want a dog like that. A stupid dog came in the house and laid on my lap, and I was done for. And he kept running into the sliding glass door. And at the time, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was the movie. And I called him Pee-wee. And the funny thing was that dog followed me everywhere. And when I lost my mother, that was the dog that sat with me. And through all my, trials and tribulations, he was there. Well, when he passed, my son, I had him cremated. I had the dog cremated. And my son said, "You're going to spend money to cremate a dog? He's a dog." And I said, "Fine. When you die, I'll just stand you up in the corner." And he looked at me and I said, "That dog was my very best friend and he deserves to." And I still have him up on the shelf with his little dog tag up there. And it's been 20 years at least since he passed. But he was my very best friend.
Yeah, I understand that completely because I know I'm going to die in this house at some point. I have a pet cemetery.
Oh, geez.
And I spell it with the S like Stephen King did. But yeah, that's where our babies are. And I had some up in Grizzly Flats, and because I thought I was going to be there for a while, but
right.
They've probably been cremated by now.
Yeah, I think so. It got a little hot up there.
It got a little warm, yes.
Just a bit toasty.
When the fire happened, I was less concerned about the babies, the dogs I'd put to rest there.
Right.
Than I was about all the spell bottles I buried across the street.
Oops.
Well, that's gonna be interesting. FEMA probably had a real good day when they were cleaning
I'll bet when they got in, what in the heck is this?
Why did the bulldozer stop and the darkness come over the clouds?
I'm sorry I missed that. I'd like to seen it.
Well, Eric actually said it's probably like in Ghostbusters when Walter Peck shut down the containment unit.
Oh gosh, yeah. that okay, I have this visual now. Okay.
Exactly. Right on. So what movie or TV show or podcast or book or any combination of those are you into lately?
Oh, geez. Now Rob's over here shaking his head. I love true crime.
Me too.
I love it. The reason being that I'm fascinated with what makes people who seem normal do the things that they do. And I'm never going to figure it out, obviously. What makes a person like it? And Ted Bundy's an excellent example. Yes. The man was intelligent, personable. He worked for, what was it, the governor of the state of Washington? And Anne Rule. He knew Anne Rule. All these people were in his circle, and none of them had any idea that he was doing the things that he did. And as he went on and finally ended up in Florida, he de-escalated. What made him do that? I have issues. You have issues. We don't go out killing people. What was the trigger?
Speak for yourself.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's
where the spell bottles were.
I'm
Okay.
being silly. And he was actually, what fascinates me about him is he was in a perfectly normal relationship.
Yeah.
With a woman who had a daughter that he was basically stepfather to.
Yeah.
And they had no clue anything like that was happening.
Yeah. It fascinates me.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of the exploration of the Zodiac killer too, for the same reason.
Me too. I want to do an investigation sometime. I've talked to this with Robert about it. We have a friend named Anthony that lives in San Francisco, and he knows where all the sites are. And I thought it would be cool to go to those sites and do an investigation to those sites, because the man is no longer alive.
Right.
So I think that would be an interesting place in which to go. And also, people don't necessarily think that cemeteries are interesting. We found that cemeteries can be very active.
That's true.
And I'd like to go do the Black Dahlia and where the Jonestown people are buried.
Yeah, I don't know if I could handle the Jonestown thing. I know that you could. I don't know if I could. That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, Waco, as I get older,
that and Waco are the two that I think would overwhelm me.
As I get older, I'm finding that I'm becoming a bit more sensitive than I was when I was younger, where I go blindly into something before. I now find that I have to be a lot more careful about what I do.
I think when I turned 60, that's when I started getting a lot more sensitive to the energies around me, both seen and unseen, and from the living and the not living. And so that was a little over 4 years ago, and it's held true that it just gets me more than it used to.
Well, I think we're more in touch with our mortality.
We're closer to the other side.
My kids get mad at me because the way in which I describe it is they're climbing up the ladder of the slide. Robert and I are sliding down the other end.
We're about ready for Dad to catch us at the end before we fall on our ass.
And and they look at me and they go, "Mom," and I said, "Come on. The one thing I can't stop is dying."
Yeah.
The minute you're born, you start. And I'm cool with it because I know it's going to happen. So you guys need to be cool with it.
What's interesting is how inevitable it is for everybody and how much we avoid thinking about it, talking about it, planning for it.
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
I think I've lost so many people in my life that's why I'm comfortable with it and why I'm so fascinated with it.
Yeah. I had in my life a lot of people die during COVID, but not of COVID. For some reason, for me, that was literally the valley of the shadow of death, because death was just everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And just they weren't died of COVID, but they were dropping like flies.
That the 3 people in our group, one died of brain cancer. His wife, we truly do believe that she died of broken heart, and the other one died of breast cancer. So none of it was COVID.
And the worst part is you couldn't be with them.
No.
Yeah. I think there are a lot more restless spirits out of that bracket of time because they died alone.
Yes.
There were also people who I think it was easier for them to go.
Yes.
Because their families weren't there to anchor them and guilt them and all the things that you do.
Oh, yeah. My grandfather died at 79, and we did a vigil for him. There was always somebody with him. And the one moment that there was nobody in that room was when he passed.
Yeah.
And I think that he did it on purpose because he didn't want somebody there.
I've always thought it's kind of like going to the bathroom. It's private, you want to do it on your own.
Oh, I'm going to keep that one. I like that. That's a great way in which to look at it.
Something that's interesting that I asked Tomas, my mortuary friend, about, that I'd always wondered, and he was positioned, fortunately, to tell me, you always hear so-and-so died peacefully in their sleep. And I said, is that a thing? Does that happen? And if it does, how do you know?
Yeah.
Because unless you had somebody sleeping there beside you to know if you were still or not, it could have been traumatic as all hell, and nobody knows because you're dead and can't tell them. And he said, "Oh no, he said there's a vibe, and you can see it in somebody's face if they died in pain."
Yeah.
So I did some research, and apparently something ridiculous, like 65% of people have a very peaceful death.
Oh, well, that's good. Something
I'm good with that.
I wasn't going to say look forward to it, but it's comforting.
I'd love to have a peaceful death as long as I'm not driving at the time, or something like that.
Well, it might be peaceful for you, but
I don't want to be on the news.
No, I'd rather not. She died peacefully, but 25 other people no.
Right, died screaming. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
All them people in the car with her were not happy.
No kidding. Or the people on the freeway. Yeah.
Lord. Yeah. So yeah, I was really relieved to hear that was a thing, because it just seemed like anything involving death would probably hurt. And
no, I don't. I've never felt that way. No.
Yeah, I did, and I'm glad that it doesn't. So I got relief. That was just last week that I was like, oh, okay, I can unclench that a little bit.
Don't have to worry about it. I figure when the time comes, I really can't do anything about it. So we'll see.
Exactly true. So now you just mentioned a couple things, actually. What, if anything, is on your bucket list? So we got Black Dahlia, and we got Ted Bundy.
Robert's over here laughing, going, "Oh, geez."
I got time.
I have never been to Hearst Castle. I've always wanted to go. Never been.
Still open?
Yeah, it's still open. And whenever we go to LA, while everybody else is at Disneyland, I'm dragging him to Hollywood Forever Cemetery, because I like to walk around and take pictures, and it is an amazing place. But
that's
there's
on
other
my bucket list now.
it's you really should go. It's absolutely beautiful. And I found Vampira. I found Darren McGavin, Burt Reynolds.
Oh,
who else was it? What?
That singer guy.
Oh, one of the Ramones. Bugsy Siegel.
Wow.
It's a fantastic place to go visit. But what happened was, and I'm gone, and you already got me going off script. He took me when we had our honeymoon, and he took me at Halloween time to go see Disneyland, which, by the way, was very disappointing because they do not focus on villains. They only focus on the princesses. And so we went to Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Now, the day before, they had done the Day of the Dead. And they told us we could go anywhere we wanted as long as we didn't go into the mausoleums. Well, don't leave the door open. I mean, really, come on, people. It's like asking me to go in.
They might as well have put out the welcome mat.
There we go. So it was like, we're talking October. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon. Robert's staying in the car. I'm going through the mausoleum, and Debbie Reynolds, and oh geez. Oh, Toto. They have a statue for Toto there. But I was in the mausoleum, Rudolph Valentino, and I'm doing an EVP.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it strikes me the sun is going down. Now, what if they don't know I'm in there and they lock me in there? Now, I'm gutsy, but I am not gutsy enough to spend the night in a mausoleum with a bunch of dead bodies. That's the one thing I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And so I got out of there. And but we've been back there a couple of times, and it's truly a beautiful place. Wow. Now, there's other places that I'd like to go see. Forest Lawn. Mm-hmm. I would love to go take the murder tour.
Yeah.
And gross as it is, I'd like to see the murder museum.
Now, I thought Bugsy Malone was a Chicago guy. How did he get out here?
Well, he was killed out here, wasn't he? He was killed in Vegas.
Okay,
I think so.
That makes sense. I didn't remember the end of that story. So
yeah, he's buried in one of the little mausoleums in. Yeah, it's that, and oh geez, I can't even tell you all the people who are buried out there. But I am, like I said, I'm fascinated with this stuff. I dragged him. When we took a trip to Texas because his niece was, well, we used the excuse that his niece was getting married, but we just wanted to go on a trip, and it was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I dragged him to the funeral museum in Houston. It was fascinating. It had all the things, they had different funeral um, customs and how, how they do embalming and how they did the mummies and stuff. And I found that to be truly, truly,
Sure.
look, I thought it was great. Now, other people, when he tells them that I took him there, they look at him and go, "Are you nuts?" Yeah, and I can live with it.
Have you heard of the human composting?
Oh, yeah.
I want that. That's my plan. Now, I originally did want to be cremated, and after 2021, I was done with fire. I did not want that anymore.
Well, I bet.
The idea of going into a drawer and having bacteria turn you into soil, and then somebody driving that to your family to put in the rose garden, I'm all down for that. Sign me up.
Well, you have a good time.
I will. Thank you. Now, here in Kelsey, where we are, the Kelsey Cemetery is a green cemetery.
Oh, okay.
So I would settle, not that anybody's gonna ask me at that point, but I would settle for just throw me in the ground, wrap me up. I don't want to be in lead. I don't want to be
Yeah.
I don't want to. I'd prefer not to even be embalmed. Just I don't want, because I feel like embalming poisons the earth around it. So if it can get to you, so just wrap me up, put me under there, and let me do my thing.
I've had, I told Robert and my kids, I want to be cremated. Go ahead, have them take me to the crematorium. I told Robert, stand there, make sure they put me in there, watch them hit the button, then have them take me out, put me in a McDonald's bag, and take me to the bay and dump me.
That's not bad.
Because I love the ocean. It's my quiet place. But both my parents are buried. My mother's buried in Auburn at the New Auburn Cemetery. My father's buried at our Mother of Sorrows in Reno. And the catch is, it's even after all these years, and they've been gone for many years, I still cry like a baby when I go up there. And I still feel guilty when I don't get a chance to go up there and put flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to be put in, I don't want a piece of land that I'm going to have to pay thousands for to have a box when I'm claustrophobic put me in the ground.
Yeah.
I think that's such a waste of money. I'd rather my family spend the money on something else.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. I told Eric I was going to have him cremated, and then I was going to put him in my douche bag and run him through me one more time.
I love that. That's great.
He said, "You'll get an infection. Don't do that."
There we go. You get that one last UTI for the road, right? Oh God, that's good. That's
sort of like a burial at sea, ultimately, though.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
But God, I love the way you think.
Well, that's because it's just like yours.
That's true.
What's your favorite part of the day?
Oh, geez. I try to get up at least an hour before Robert does, so that I can have my cup of coffee and I can watch something truly stupid. In the morning, if I wake up early enough, I used to watch Dragnet and Adam 12. And then I switched over to Emergency. And I sat there and watch it, and I know I've seen it 100 times, but it's comforting, and and then he gets up and we start our day. But that and other times of the day, because like you, I have all these different projects going on.
Yeah.
And so depending on the time of day is what I'm going to do. Yeah. And Robert likes to say I poof. And what poof is I'll be doing something, the next thing you know, he thinks I'm in the kitchen and I'm in the other room, or I'm in the backyard, and he goes, "There she goes again, poof." Because that's the way I am.
When I was a teenager, I had such a Randolph Mantooth crush. You would not believe. Oh my Lord. I just thought he was incredible.
Oh, who was it I had a crush on? Mickey Dolenz of the Monkees.
Absolutely worthwhile. Can condone.
Oh,
yeah. Yes.
I was, I'm older than you, so.
Well, I can tell you who my first two crushes were.
Okay.
You'll know them. Everybody else might not. First one was, I'm glad you're sitting down. It was Jim Nabors.
Oh, his voice is phenomenal.
I loved Jim Nabors. I thought he was
Nabors.
so non-threatening and just sweet and
such a dork.
Yep.
A lovable dork.
Correct. And my second one was
You're scared to tell me?
I am. It was Mr. Green Jeans, man.
You had a crush on my grandpa.
Lumpy. I loved Mr. Green Jeans. I think that's how my grandpa used to dress. Man thing, you know. Oh. And then I married somebody 15 years younger than I am. But no, I loved Mr. Green Jeans. I just loved that he could make that. Now, granted, Lumpy, what's his name, who played Mr. Green Jeans, probably didn't even plant. But I love the idea that he brought things to life with his hands. And so those were my two crushes before Randolph Mantooth.
Oh, okay. Well, then you upgraded. I
guess I don't know. I guess I did. I got off the men who were gay.
I had a crush on Barry Manilow for the longest time.
I just saw Barry Manilow when he was at the Golden.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
He was amazing. I love this. See, I've been a fan of Manilow for forever.
Oh yeah.
And I always laugh when people say, "Oh, I'm just not into Barry Manilow," except for, and then they'll list 8 or 9 songs that he did. And so
which is half of his repertoire.
Eric went with me. And the first couple songs were real rocky. Now the man is in his,
well, yeah, he's almost 80.
No, I think he's the same age as Ringo. I think they're both 82.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's in his 80s.
But I got real nervous the first couple songs, and I looked at Eric and I said, "You know what? He can't laugh. He can't sing. He's finding it hard to do anything." And then he did, I think it was Mandy, and just nailed it. It was as though somebody threw a switch in this man, and for the rest of the show, he was just on it.
Oh, awesome.
He was incredible.
Oh, I bet.
I've seen him before, and it was amazing.
I took Robert to a concert. You promised not to laugh?
Where'd you go?
Jeff Dunham.
Oh, that's a good one.
It was hysterical. That man had me in tears. See, he says all the things that I want to and can't get away with.
I learned about him through my kids. My kids were huge fans.
Yeah.
And let's see. I saw Weird Al 3 times.
Oh, cool.
I've been to a lot of concerts, so I don't want to get too crazy with that. One of the best concerts I ever saw was Spinal Tap, unwigged and unplugged.
Let's see. What was it? I saw Heart.
Oh, that's nice.
And I saw Billy Squires and Gallagher.
Okay. I saw
Love Sinbad. Gallagher.
I saw Sinbad.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw Dr. Hook twice. And that doesn't count the time that I also saw Ray Sawyer on his own after he left the group. And I've only ever walked out of 2 concerts. The first one, I went to see, what's that Canadian band? Guess Who? The Guess Who.
Oh, yeah.
And they were great. And following them was Loverboy. And I wanted to see Loverboy, but I had to leave because I was due to deliver Dylan in a couple of days, and my back gave out on me, and it was at Field, so I had to leave. The second one I walked out on was a dual appearance. The first half of it was the Oak Ridge Boys, and they were fantastic. It was worth the price of admission. They were great.
Yeah.
They wheeled out Chuck Yeager, and I thought Eric was just gonna die. And so everybody was satisfied. And then Winona Judd came out, and I walked out. She was terrible.
Really?
Oh man, she was so messed up on something. And when you just had a whole group of people enjoy the Oak Ridge Boys, there's a vibe, right? There's an Oak Ridge Boys sort of thing. You do not walk out onto the stage and go, "Hey, motherfuckers!" That's just not the Oak Ridge Boys way.
No, that's not what you're expecting.
Off-putting. and I got a mouth, but that was off-putting. It was not the right place, not the right time. And it just sort of went downhill from there. So I left.
Yeah. My daughter, when she was 16, she loved Ozzy Osbourne.
Mm-hmm.
And so I took her to go see Ozzy, and it was with Great White and Vixen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the catch was I didn't know what a mosh pit was.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And we got down in the front. I mean, we were right there. And I'm not that tall.
So you got moshed onto the floor.
What happened was Vixen came on, and everybody started rushing to the front. Now, my ex looked at me and said, grab my belt, and he grabbed Misty and dragged us out of that pit. And I had some stupid security guard walk up to me and ask me if the reason that we were doing that was because my daughter was ODing.
Oh, Lord.
And I said, well, we won't repeat what I said. And then we got up in the stands so that we would live. Mm-hmm. The catch was Vixen decided that it would be cool to pants the guys in the band while they were singing. And she walked up to Great White and they were yanking their pants down. And I'm going, okay, Misty's getting to see a lot more than what I was planning on. And then Ozzy comes out. Now, I didn't want to see that much of Ozzy. I like Ozzy, but geez.
Sure.
And so Misty went, Mom, you're the greatest. And I said, I'll never do it again. I'm never going to take you to a heavy metal. Never again. You're on your own.
I was lucky because Eric would do all of that. Delina went through her My Chemical Romance, Gnarls Barkley, Papa Roach, him, all of those bands. Not that that's heavy metal, but I mean the type of music that, they're okay, but I wouldn't really into it. But she and Eric tore up the Western coastline going to all of these different.
I'm more, Robert took me to go see, what was it? Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, nice.
I loved Phantom of the Opera, and he took me to go see the Celtic Women at Sacramento Memorial Auditorium.
Oh, wow.
So those I like. Those are more my speed.
That would be fun. Yeah. Now, I do love a good concert. I tell you, I got excited to go see Moody Blues at the Wembley Arena. They were not all that good.
Really?
This was in 1985.
I guess you need to hear them on the record as opposed
to. They're just a studio band, I guess. So, okay.
Some of them aren't good when you hear them, when you hear them live.
Might have just had an off night or something. But so if you could go back at any point in time with full knowledge of what you got right now and tell your past self something with the understanding that your past self would at least listen. They might not do it, but they would listen. Where would you go and what would you say?
I would go back to my last year of high school and I would tell myself, don't get married. Because not my stepdad, the one who passed away, but my mother remarried again. And it was an extremely bad situation. And I've even told my ex-husband this. I would have married Jack the Ripper to get out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And my father, the father that I loved, he was military. And so the VA was going to pay for my college. And my mother and my stepdad decided that I needed to get married because they were scared I was going to get pregnant.
Mm.
And I married my ex 4 days before my 18th birthday. Mm-hmm. Talk about an idiot. Now, I love my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I adore my kids and my grandkids. That's not the point. But the point is looking back, 4 days, and I would have had a full ride for college.
Mm-hmm.
So don't get married.
Go to college.
Go to college.
What would you have wanted to study, you think?
I wanted to do nursing.
Mm-hmm.
I had actually been accepted to the Orvis Ring School of Nursing at the University of Nevada. And I blew it.
I think you'd be good at that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know you would. I know you would be. All right, let's talk shop.
Okay.
Now, I would like to know. This was not on your list. You just got to wing it.
Okay.
What was the most underwhelming, disappointing investigation you've ever done?
No, the Mackey Mansion wasn't. No, the Mackey Mansion was cool. Let's see. Underwhelming.
Where you got hyped up for it and it just wasn't what you wanted.
Okay. He's telling me.
The place where I think I spent mine.
Oh, we went to McColmy Hill to the Hotel Leger. It's in the middle of the summer. It's hot. It's you know where I'm going with this. Well, there's 2 rooms down in the bottom. And we've had people tell us that they've had really great stuff there. But for some reason, it wasn't working out for us.
Mm-hmm.
They have 2 rooms down in the very bottom. One was supposed to be where the old jail was. And the other one, I swear it looked like something out of a old Dracula movie, like a grotto almost. And we were down in where they were going to make it into a wine tasting area. And we're all sitting around the table. Now, what had happened was we set up our IR cameras so that we could, if something happened while we were in there, we'd know. Well, Robert and one of the guys that was on the team, Isaac, they were monitoring the video cameras. And we were doing a seance in the other room. So we're sitting there and nothing has happened. It literally, pardon the pun, had been dead all night long. And we're sitting there and we're waiting and we're hoping, and all of a sudden, this light shoots across the room. Wow, okay. And so we all stop and we're all staring and we're looking around and we're going, wow, what was that? And then all of a sudden, another light shoots. Okay, now everybody's taking pictures and Robert's over here laughing because he knows what happened. Then all of a sudden, light just starts blinking. I go over to this hole in the wall and I yell through the hole, Robert, Isaac, turn the damn flashlight off. Yeah. They were bored, so yeah, they were shooting flashlight through the that, and you know me well enough to know I love the Hornet. The Hornet to me is one of the greatest things on earth. The first time we did an investigation on the Hornet, we went up to where the admirals, up by where the crow's nest is, the admiral's quarters. And we had one of the docents with us, and we're walking around through there, and everybody's paying attention, being real quiet. And all of a sudden you hear this, psh, and they said, everybody's going, did you hear that? Yeah, I heard that. Wow, let's go look. And we're all walking around through there, and you don't hear it. And then all of a sudden, psst, and we're thinking, oh, cool, all right, we're excited. There was a air freshener up in the bathroom, and they hadn't told the docent it was there. So we had a haunted air freshener. Those are probably the most hysterical. But, we usually called it just that was on our blooper reel. Back when we had a website, we put that on the blooper reel because you can't take yourself you can't take yourself seriously.
No.
Not too much.
Speaking of not taking myself seriously, I don't know why I'm all fuzzy right now. It just happened all of a sudden. I think that one of your spirit friends jumped in.
Have you been drinking? No.
No, I don't drink. I'm boring.
That's Robert. He's my designated driver.
Yeah. So I have to ask you something, and I have never asked you this, and I don't even know if it's something that you know about or anything. I'm sure you probably do. I've had some interest in Robert the doll. Do you think that situation is real? Do you know about it at all?
I know about it, but I don't think it's real.
Okay. I wondered about that because I always had a vibe that was something that was fabricated.
Yeah. I don't believe it. I know that's probably some inanimate objects. Maybe they have some energy, but the Robert the doll thing, no, I don't think it's. Okay.
So when Jay Anson, I think was the man's name, came out with Amityville Horror, the book, and then they did the movie. They made a big deal over George Lutz supposedly coming out and saying, no, Jay and I made that up. It didn't really happen. It's all bullshit. Yeah. And then they later retracted their retraction. What do you think?
I think there's probably some energy in that house, but I think a lot of it, come on, pig eyes looking out a window. That's a bit much for me.
I think the original story was probably pretty interesting.
Yeah. But I think they started adding to it because they wanted people to start paying attention.
They wanted, to get the eyes on it. I agree. Thank you for that. I appreciate your speculation on that. So we mentioned Preston Castle, and that, for anybody who doesn't know, is it's a local thing in Ione, and it looks like a castle. You're driving through Ione, which is this little podunk town, and you look up on the hill and there's this big ass medieval castle. And but it used to be a reformatory, I believe, for boys. Yes. And I have never been there.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, you gotta go.
Went, and she got to the stairs to go downstairs and just said nope and walked away. So she don't even know what's down there. So I have not been there. It's worth going to, though.
Oh gosh, yeah. If for no other reason than just to see it. Mm-hmm. It's a very foreboding air, and you go in and you can get a sense of what the of what it was like back in the day. Mm-hmm. I have a friend who has written several books on it. Her name is Jamie Rubio, and she wrote If These Walls Could Talk. And she's an investigative reporter, so she's not the kind of person who's much into the paranormal, which is one of the things I love about her because she keeps me honest. And we had went, Robert and I in the group did an investigation there. And Robert's still upset with me about this. We set all the cameras up. We had cameras downstairs. Now, you know that one of the housekeepers was murdered downstairs.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, she was murdered downstairs. She's buried at East Lawn. And so we had the cameras downstairs, and then throughout the area. Well, what happened was as we were placing the cameras, all of a sudden you see, I swear, just legs. Now you can see these legs walking down the hallway and hanging a left. And I'm standing next to one of the docents, and I look at her and I go, "Did you see that?" She goes, "I wasn't going to say anything unless you did, but yeah, I saw it." He got upset with us, and it was my fault. Half an hour we sat there. Oh, he swears it's an hour. We sat there rolling that thing back and forth, watching those legs go up and down. There was nobody down there, just the legs. And then I took my grandson Alex and his friend, and it was they were down in the kitchen area. Now there is this really old antique stove, and you know what the antique stoves are like. The doors just don't drop. It takes an earthquake to get those things to drop. They're sitting there getting ready to do an EVP. All of a sudden the door on this oven just goes clunk. Those two boys took off running out of that place. They didn't. The one kid that was my grandson's best friend, calls his girlfriend and goes, "I'm staying at my uncle's house for the weekend. Can you come stay with me? Because I'm scared." But you go up there and sometimes you'll see balls that will roll on their own. Excuse me. It's a great place to go investigate. But always remember that the stuff you see on TV is not necessarily true. There's a lot of stuff that they put out there that they say is paranormal, and it's not.
Got it. It's Robert with the flashlight, huh?
Yeah, it's Robert with the flashlight. Well, they got to fill up their hour.
Sure, of course. They got to make it interesting. And a lot of the investigations I've ever been involved with, there's just a lot of sitting and waiting for something to happen.
We like to say it's like fishing.
Mm-hmm.
You cast your line, sometimes you catch something, and sometimes you don't.
Sure, sure. Now, speaking of don't, I actually went on the flashlight tour of the Winchester Mystery House on Halloween.
How'd you like that?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
The whole time through it, I even went places I wasn't supposed to go.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I know. Didn't get caught. I just did what would Pamela do.
There we go.
And because I was determined, I was feeling something. This was going to happen. I couldn't feel anything. I could feel vibrations of, I mean, lots of commercialism, of course, but I could feel underlying mental illness, but it was mental illness. It wasn't anything interesting. But I could not feel anything paranormal at all in the entire place. I went through the grounds. I went through the house. I felt nothing.
Yeah, see, and we went. And we didn't do any investigating, but I never felt anything. It was fascinating, but I did not feel a thing.
I went into, now Placerville, I went into the Carey house.
I've wanted to.
Listen, let me tell you, the hair was up on the back of my neck from the second I walked in there.
Oh, cool.
It was very uncomfortable. My ex-husband stayed there when he was visiting our adult kids one time. And I said, I just, and this is, my ex-husband is very not witchy.
Yeah.
And in fact, divorced me for it. And I said, I got to ask you, man, you slept there because it's still a functioning hotel.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything at all? And he said, I promise you, I would tell you if I did. And I didn't feel anything at all. I might as well have been at a Motel 6.
Well, see, that's because he doesn't believe.
But it was even just being in the lobby. Eric and I walked into the lobby and there's nobody there. We just walked in and there's nobody behind the desk. You can't hear a sound. Now, this is just the time we went in. And we're just sort of walking around and it was just spookanannies, man. It was just eerie.
I'd like to. I've never been in the Carey house. I think that'd be interesting to do.
You come up sometime and we'll go.
Okay, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and maybe we can talk Gladys into going too. But yeah, it was very interesting. Now I don't know how they'd feel about us snooping around, but they've got a lot of the old registers out displayed and things like that. So they're really pumping into the gold rush history that they've got. But you can feel it. It's pretty palpable in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we will check it out.
Yes, we will. Sounds like fun.
You got anything you want to promote?
Let's see. Do I have anything? Yes, the Kennedy mine.
Yes.
Up in Jackson. I'm one of the part of the paranormal docents that help people. They do a public once a month. Right now, because it's off season, they're not doing it. But if they check out the Kennedy Mine Paranormal website, it'll tell them when upcoming investigations are. It's not scary in the least.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first, and you don't go into the mine because the mine is full of water.
Mm-hmm.
But you get to go to the different outbuildings, and we've had some great things that we've picked up. Just walking through, plus going up there, just having a picnic. It's a beautiful area. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Now, but if I remember right, y'all were getting together a few years back, a trip up there, and Eric was supposed to go and something came up and he couldn't go.
Yeah. But so you know what? Tell him that when it starts up again, he can be my guest.
I'll tell him.
You can be my guest.
I'd love that.
You guys can both be my guests.
That sounds like fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you for spending time with me today. I appreciate that so much.
Well, I miss it. We haven't hung out in forever.
Well, we need to.
Yes, we do. I miss you.
Yeah, we don't have much time left to blow. We need to get on it.
No kidding. Chop, chop.
That's right. Thank you, darling. And folks, thank y'all for tuning in to listen to two old ladies.
Thank you.
Back and forth. And if you're wondering, we talk like this when y'all are not here too.
So that's true.
We swear a little more, but
yeah, once or twice.
Once here and there. So thank y'all for being here. Thank you for being here, Pam. I appreciate it. If you both come back again, we'll do another 8 questions.
Sounds like fun to me.
All right. Thank you, Pam. And thank you, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.